everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today I am back with another monthly recap video, October edition, and I can't believe it's already been 10 months of these recaps, and I can't believe how quickly this year went, and I also can't believe how actually well October went compared to the last couple of months. But let's get right into the video and let's dive right in and see all the data for October. Okay, so like I said, I'm so happy to report that this month was actually really good. It was one of my top months of this year. I think it was like in 4th place or so for all the months, which I am really happy about. That means it's in the top half of the months, and that also means that we finally got rid of that summer slowdown, that early start to fall slowdown, whatever was happening there. And I'm so happy that that is the case because, boy, I was really over those slow months. And so this month I started off by making $1,130 and I sold 151 items. And so I sold a lot of items this month. I felt like I was just kind of like flying through the shelves of things that I was listing, and it really shows because I sold a lot more than I've sold in the last couple of months put together. And this kind of actually feels like another month like July, where I was able to sell a lot during those live sales. For some reason, in October, they started working again. And so I was able to go live pretty much every single day, if not, every other day. And some days I was even going live multiple times a day. And I was just doing some quick silent shows here and there, and I was able to actually sell a lot more. So let's get right into how I made those sales and the day-to-day, and then we'll break it down by brand and really dive deeper on how October was. So on average, the number of listings sold each day was a couple. I would say it ranged from about 3 to 5 on average, but there were definitely days where it was way more than that, and I actually think I had my record number of items sold in a day towards the end of the month, where I sold over 15 items in one day, and which is like crazy because I don't think I've ever done that. And I was like, that was a day where I did multiple lives and I was just selling a bunch. And again, it's pretty rare for me when I do silent lives to really sell that much, where a lot of people that go live and are actually live on camera can sell a lot more than 15 items, so that doesn't really seem impressive to some people. But for me, during a silent live, that is pretty impressive, and so I was really happy that I was able to have a day where I sold that many pieces, and there was a couple other days where I sold a bunch of pieces too. And so pretty much every day I was getting out multiple boxes of sales or packages every single day, and that was really exciting, and that was something that I hadn't had for a couple months. So I was just really happy that it was happening again, and that my average listings sold each day was actually higher than the prior months. And I would say the number of orders each day was on average about 3. There was days where it was less, and then there was days that it was way more than that. And I only had 2 days this month where I didn't have sales, so that also just goes to show that this month was way better just because I was actually making sales a lot more frequently, and the days that I was making sales, they were, multiple sales a day, so it wasn't just one here and there. So that was also really exciting to see. And like I said, if we compare this to the prior period, the number of sales that I made in October was way higher than it was in September. I don't really even want to talk about September because it was so bad, but in comparison, you can see by this graph, October was way better, there was way more sales, and the number of sales each time was higher. Okay, so let's talk about the brands that made me the most money this month. Some of these are pretty shocking and not brands that I normally sell. So the first one is actually 9 West, and this is actually because of a single pair of boots that I sold for $80. I've sold them full price. They were new with tag, and they were new in the box. They were a pair of like black leather pointed toe heeled boots. So that is the top selling brand for the month. And then behind that was J. Crew and Loft, which are brands that I don't typically sell that much of, but I've been selling a lot more in live sales and other pieces here and there, some jeans and stuff like that. So that is why those two are second in the list. And then after that is, of course, the vintage brands, which I, sell every single month, so that is no shock to me. But I was really surprised to see that American Eagle or some of the other brands that I sell every single month were not in the top brands, but that really just goes to show that I was selling a lot more other things this month and not really just focusing on one brand. So let's talk about listings sold this month. So the brand that I sold the most of this month was actually Loft, And I've been actually picking up a lot more loft when I go for dollar days, and I'm actually selling it a lot more. I actually went to the Goodwill 2 times this past month in October, and actually one of those times I saw a subscriber of mine. Shout out to you, Valerie. It was very nice meeting you, and it was really exciting actually, because I was just kind of scrolling through, shopping away, and I ended up seeing someone. They recognized me from my videos, and actually it's really bizarre because that's the second time that's happened to me, and I did not think I had a lot of, you know, people in New Jersey that watch me, but that's pretty awesome that that was the case. And so yeah, so I went to the Goodwill twice this month, and I was able to get a lot more pieces, and I was able to pick up a lot more pieces in Loft and Old Navy and some of the other brands that don't normally sell super high for me, but they sell pretty well considering I pick them up on Dollar Day. So that is actually why Loft and Old Navy are the top 2 brands that I sold the most listings for this month, because those are 2 brands that I've been really picking up a lot at the Goodwill. So I will pick up a lot of shorts or pants or leggings or tops, even sports bras, and those have been selling very fast for me. And then after that, the next 2 are Vintage and Francesca's in terms of number of pieces that I sold in the month. Okay, so this month I actually sold the most listings in women's, a very small amount in men's, and a very, very small amount in kids. And about 80% of my sales this month were not new with tag, and about 20% were new with tag. Okay, so let's talk about how I made those sales this month. So about 77% of my sales came from offers, which is actually pretty low compared to the prior months. So that is really good actually, because that means I wasn't sending out as many offers as I was prior. I actually was getting a lot more full price sales and a lot more bundle sales. So I was actually really happy when that was happening, because again, I feel like in the past couple of months I've been saying that I haven't been getting a lot of full price sales, and I have been sending out a lot of offers, and that's how I've been making sales. But to know that that number is less than 80% is a really good sign to me. I'm pretty ecstatic, and I'm hoping that actually with the holidays coming up that number is actually going to go down a little bit more as well. And about 16% of my sales were buy now, and about 6% were bundle offer. So again, those numbers have gone up substantially from the prior months, and I'm hoping that that's just going to keep going up from here. Okay, so let's talk about what I listed this month. I listed 308 items, which is standard for each month for me. And if you're new here and you haven't seen a other recap video that I do, I say that I list 5 items each day, and I relist 5 items each day, which gets me to about 10 items listed each day, which is why I get to about 300 in a month. And this is really crucial for me to bring in those consistent sales and to make sure that, you know, the sales keep coming, because I'm listing every single day and I'm relisting every single day. So both these things together really are crucial to those consistent sales. And actually, I only listed women's items in October. I have an overflow of women's items right now that I've gotten when I went to the Goodwill or that were donated. So that is basically all I've been listing recently, and it's probably all I'm going to list for the upcoming future. I do plan to get to the bins by the end of this year again, so I might get some men's and kids items from that. But for now, I will be only listing women's because that is all I have on hand. So as you have probably heard in all my recap videos, it has been a goal of mine to get to roughly $1,000 each month or $12,000 by the end of the year. And so I've been aiming for that all year. And if you remember from last month's video where I talk about that I was very under that threshold because of the last couple of months from August and September, and even a little bit over the summer as well, I had gone down past that threshold that I wanted to be because of those slow months where I wasn't hitting 1,000 each month. In the beginning months of the year, I was hitting over 1,000. I was actually hitting closer to 1,500. And so I hadn't gotten there for a couple months, and I was way under my threshold. And I said, we're going to need some kind of crazy miracle to get there in October. And it's crazy, but I actually ended up getting to exactly $10,000 made this year when the end of October hit. So I don't know if that's just some crazy coincidence or what, but like it's insane to me that it's actually exactly $10,000. I remember when I was taking these screenshots, I almost couldn't believe that it was exactly 10,000 by the end of the month. Like, what are the chances of that? That's crazy. So that means that I'm perfectly on par with my threshold of getting to $1,000 each month or $12,000 by the end of the year. I have exactly 2 months to get that $2,000, and I really think it's possible, especially because I think November and December the sales are going to go up, and I'm really hoping that that's the case so we can stay on target for the goal. So that was really exciting to see that I was actually able to get to the threshold that I wanted to be, even though I was behind the last couple of months. And so far this year, I've sold a total of 867 listings, which is way ahead of any amount of listings that I sold in any prior year. So that's just crazy to think that I've already sold that many listings this year. And that definitely means I can get to over 1,000 listings sold this year, which is really exciting as well. What's crazy is, and I guess this is also because I've been doing live sales, my number of listings sold this month is insanely high compared to the number of listings sold last October. And the number of orders is also a lot higher this October versus last October. So like I talked about in the beginning, October was one of my top months this year, and I'm really excited to see that it was way higher than the last few months. And I'm really thinking that it's only going to go up from here. I'm really thinking that November and December are going to be great. The holidays are coming. This is the most shopped time on Poshmark. So I'm really thinking that this is going to bring some big sales for me and also you guys as well. Okay, so that is actually a wrap on this month's recap. I'm so happy that it was a much more positive recap than the last couple have been. I have to say it was getting pretty depressing to come on here every month and say, oh, this month was worse, oh, this month was worse. It finally is better, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm very excited to see what the upcoming months are going to look like, and I'm hoping that we end the fourth quarter and the year really strong on a high note. And so you'll see me back here for another recap at the end of November. But if you want to see another video in the meantime, I have so many videos on this channel, so I would love for you to stick around and hopefully go subscribe, because there are so many videos here on this channel that can really help you with success on Poshmark. So in the meantime, before that November recap video comes out, there's going to be plenty of videos uploaded that you definitely don't want to miss. But if you want to see another video on features that were talked about at PoshFest a couple weeks back that are going to really help you have success on Poshmark, that are going to be released soon, you definitely want to watch this video. That's going to give you some insights of what's coming to the app and what you should be looking forward to. And also, if you want to see a video on reasons why your listings aren't selling, things that you can actively do to change your listings so that they sell more, you can click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.